Tyler Dunne from golongtd.com joins us. I mean, Tyler, we've been using some of your musings on the Bills as fodder for like the last 10 days. We'll get to that in a minute, but you just saw that Stratomatic prediction. Patriots 33, Bills 13. Mac is going to completely outplay Josh Allen, who's just going to throw a bunch of interceptions. Are we underestimating what the Bills are going to be able to do on Monday night?
It might be a little generous, but I don't think it's that far off. I really don't. I think that this is a bad matchup for the Bills. It really is. And there's a reason that here in Western New York, a lot of fans are kind of getting that gloom and doom. It's kind of creeping back into their conscience. It's almost like a bad horror movie where Michael Myers is just right around that corner. You know he's coming every year. They thought they got rid of him, but they didn't. Here he comes again. And it's because when you look at the matchup, it's not good for the Bills. The Bills really built their team for what they thought was the modern era. They thought this was going to be backyard football, improvisational quarterback play. They have one themselves, so they went lighter on defense. They went quicker, more athletic. And what did Bill Belichick do in the spring? He spent all that money on all these free agents with players that are just going to punch you in the mouth and take you into that back alley. I don't think the Bills are ready for that back alley game. So I think that definitely that score might be onto something. It is in Buffalo, but they're calling for a lot of snow, a lot of wind, a lot of bad conditions. And the Bills aren't built for that in a way I think the Patriots are. Now, Josh Allen's the ultimate wild card. He could change things. I'm sure we'll get into that. But in terms of the matchup, yeah, I like the Patriots a lot.
Yeah, what is the feeling in Buffalo, whether it's with the Bills themselves or just fans, like seeing the Patriots creep back in it so quickly after I think everyone thought, like, it's going to be a couple of years?
It's definitely they're not depressed quite yet because they haven't seen it yet, right? The last time these teams played, the Bills wiped them out. They couldn't stop Josh Allen. They did whatever they wanted to on offense. And this is a very front-running team. If the going's good, the Bills will dance all over your grave. That's what they do. They'll celebrate. They'll salsa dance. They'll flex. Their quarterback will himself. But if you punch them in the mouth, they tend to go to the corner and not take that hit that well. And we've seen that. I mean, the Colts, the Jaguars, when they play a physical team, they don't know how to respond, how to react. That's an indictment on coaching. That's an indictment on how the team's built. So I think all of that taken into consideration, yeah, fans are a little worried because they've seen Bill Belichick here before. They've seen Bill Belichick build a team that can haunt you for an entire generation. Now, like I said, the only thing that gives me hesitation, Trenni, is Josh Allen. He's really, really good. He's the ultimate trump card. He can still find a way to get this team into that front-running mode.
All right, we will get to Josh Allen along with Phil Perry in just a minute, but you changed your tune on Mac Jones, and we can kind of understand why over here. Mac Jones has found his groove, especially over the last 6 games. Patriots have won all 6 of those. Jones has thrown for almost 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. You actually admitted, Ty, in your most recent podcast to mocking the Patriots pick of Mac Jones in the draft. But now you said you changed your tune. Why do you like Mac Jones more now for the Patriots than you did when they drafted him back in April?
I appreciate you calling me out. I deserve it. I mean, like many other people, I misread this whole thing. I mean, Mac Jones, it seemed, did not possess that one physical trait that a team should gamble on, right? You knew that Trey Lance could be a runner. You knew Justin Fields had that magic about him. You knew Trevor Lawrence had something. There just was something that popped in Mac Jones in college. But we all overlooked what the Patriots clearly valued, his brain. He is processing the game at such an advanced level. And I get it. It's a great situation for him. When you put him in that offense with that coaching staff, with that defense, that running game. Look, maybe Justin Fields is doing the same kind of thing there instead of the mess he has in Chicago. But you have to give Mac Jones credit because, I mean, you're seeing it, right? I mean, he's looking one way, he's throwing the other way. He's processing things quicker every week. They're expanding the playbook every week. And, yeah, I was wrong on him. I think a lot of people were wrong on him, and I'm just shocked that the NFL let this happen. It's not hyperbole to say he's like a mini Brady out there. I'm sure everybody is hopeful of that. But he looks better at this stage than Brady did at that stage long ago. We'll see where he takes it from here, but the plan is in place. The Patriots had a plan for their quarterback. All of the other teams didn't really have a plan. They're just kind of making it up as they go. So you've got to give them credit as an organization.
Yeah, we're not sure here if he's going to reach the heights that Tom Brady did, but he certainly is playing well early in his career and doing what the Patriots have asked of him. All right, you sort of alluded to this before, but if you head over to Ty Dunne on golongtd.com, he wrote this before last Sunday's game. McDermott declares the Bills a physical football team, but he's wrong. They are not. To the best Patriots to salvage a playoff appearance and a playoff run, the Bills don't have a choice but to win with finesse. I don't think it's time for everyone to brace for another 20 years in the Patriots torture chamber, but those two games will tell us everything we need to know about the direction of both franchises. All right, let's now also bring in Phil Perry alongside Tyler Dunne. Tyler, I know you called the Bills a soft football team. You kind of mentioned it before. Phil, when you look at the Bills, do you see them as soft?
I do, and I love the fact that Ty has said it because it feels like it gives us license to also say it because he knows that team so damn well. But they are, just in terms of the style of play that they try to deploy week after week after week. They're the greatest show on turf. They want to turn every game into a track meet. They've got this great quarterback, this great set of receivers. They want to put the ball in the air as many times as they can, whereas the Patriots, as a great contrast, want to turn every game into a Hell in a Cell match. They have a 400-pound right tackle. They have a 350-pound jumbo tight end in Micah Wenu. They use a fullback. They signed 2 tight ends this offseason. They have a very distinct style of play, and the Bills are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. The reason why I think it's fair to describe it as soft, Ty, is because when you get into this time of year, and it's December, and you're outdoors in Western New York or here in Foxborough, you have to at least have the toughness club in your bag. And I'm not sure the Bills have it. At least they haven't shown that they have it this year.
And Tyler, who should we blame for them being soft? Is it a Sean McDermott thing? Is it a Josh Allen thing? Like why is it that they aren't, like, to me, when I think of Buffalo football, I think cold, I think gritty, I think blue collar, but that's not the team at all. Why?
I think it starts really in the front office. I think it starts with how they built this team. And like I said, you almost can't blame them. You think the game is going a certain direction, a backyard direction, an intramural football in the quad direction. So, yeah, you just trade away Wyatt Teller for a couple draft picks. I mean, what an abomination of a decision that was. I just hung out with Wyatt Teller for a story Go Along if people want to check it out. Like, he's the best guard in football, and you let him walk out the door. He's somebody who just kicks people's butts every week, and you traded him away because who knows why.
Well, Ty, you mentioned it. The X factor is going to be Josh Allen, and for him, it was a tale of two halves against the Saints. In the first half, Allen threw 2 interceptions, had a passer rating under 80, but in the second half, he was 10 for 12, 137 yards, 3 touchdowns, a perfect passer rating. So Tyler Dunne, who is the real Josh Allen? Will he stand up?
Josh Allen's great. He's an MVP candidate. He's. I don't want to put all this on Josh Allen, but I just feel like Bill Belichick definitely carved out probably a good month for this game in the offseason, right? He's ready to try to get inside of Josh Allen, know Josh Allen better than he knows himself.
Josh Allen's a top 10 quarterback, Trenni. I agree with Ty there. He is an MVP candidate. He is somebody who can win you football games just based on his physical ability. But when you put too much on him, when you become one-dimensional, you do become easier to defend. And so a great defense, which is what the Patriots have, a great defensive mind in Bill Belichick, they should have a plan to at least slow him down.
All right, Tyler Dunne, golongtd.com. Subscribe, check him out. Thanks for taking some time on a busy Friday to join us.